Hi class, my name is Tina and my speech is on why college education should be free. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are making your way through high school, your grades are above average, you are a well-rounded student participating in all the activities that you can while still having time for your coursework. Junior year comes and it's time to start looking at colleges to apply to. Such an exciting time of your life that is full of possibilities. Your hard work is paying off and you realize that you meet the qualifications for admittance into some great colleges and universities. After being accepted into several schools, it is now time to narrow down your selection with the help from your parents and school counselors. Due to your accolades, you do qualify for some great scholarships, but sadly the realization hits that they're not enough. Your parents make too much money to qualify for federal grants and they are not able to take out any student loans. Although they're both working, they are not in a position to make any monthly tuition payments for you due to basic living expenses. Do you feel a sense of defeat? Do you feel like all of your hard work was in vain? Are you questioning what was the point? This is what so many Americans face on a daily basis because of the high cost of college education in this country. Due to not being able to afford a quality college education, many are forced to forego higher education and go straight into the workforce. Since these individuals do not have a specialized skill, they are more likely to have lower paying jobs than someone who has a college degree. If they're making less money, then the likelihood of being able to send their children to college in the future is going to be less than someone who has a college degree. This is a vicious cycle that plagues many families. Having free universal college education is the best investment for our country. I'm sure that no one has forgotten this past presidential election cycle. One of the biggest issues of on the Democratic side was about the cost of college education. Although both Democratic candidates were in favor of free tuition, I felt as an American I could identify with Bernie Sanders when he said that we live in a highly competitive global economy, and if our economy is to be strong, we need to be the best educated workforce in the world. Who can dispute that? This is a fact that has been proven time and time again and will continue to throughout eternity. Our prestigious educational institutes have long been accredited as being one of the best in the world. This is a key fundamental element that this great nation was built on. It's what our forefathers believed in. Look at the history of our most influential figures throughout our country. All of them have been afforded a great education from a prestigious institute. However, there seems to be an unfair advantage as you look upon the statistical perspective. Lindsay Cook illustrated that as the percentage of white students in our education shrinks, the percentage of students of color grow. The U.S. will be left with an educational system that doesn't serve the majority of its children properly. The gaps in education will prove especially problematic. Educational expectations are lower for black children. Black children are less likely than whites or Hispanic children to live in households where at least one parent has a secure employment. And black children have the greatest rate of any race from families with children living in homeless shelters. When the numbers were looked at in the year 2006, it was determined that for the class starting at a four-year college in 2006, only 20% of black students graduated in 4 years versus more than 40% of the white students. Within 6 years, 40% of blacks finished, but 6% of whites did. This rate is alarming. The financial stability is just as prevalent in the black and Latino community in comparison to the white community. When it comes to free universal college education, what you are really saying is that we're investing into our future. We believe in our children and our grandchildren as well as ourselves to the point that we want the best for everyone. Education equals qualified candidates. Education equals new entrepreneurs who create more jobs, which adds to the economy. Education means making extreme leaps in the world of technology and military intelligence. Education means less government assistance and families being proud to be in a position to provide for their families without having to help them. We live in the greatest country on the planet. We are great because we strive for greatness. We owe it to the future generations to be able to get a quality education without having to worry about how they will be able to afford to pay for it. I hope you have been well informed. This is the end of my speech. Thank you.